Greetings! My name is Mark, and I'm from the future, bringing you a brand new show. A show that's so new that I haven't even named it yet, because it's from the future. A show about comic books from the past, present, and beyond, and pop culture nonsense. We're gonna have a good time. I'm surrounded by Spider-Man and Batman and Darth Vader. I don't even know who that guy is. Hey, Godzilla. I'm a fan. A bunch of Godzilla toys over there. I'm filming at Phantom of the Attic Comics in Oakland, just outside of Pittsburgh. It's a great store. Let's take a quick look at it before I dive into the first review of this unnamed show that hasn't even been made yet. Phantom of the Attic Comics has been around since 1983. It's one of my favorite stores. Thanks to the owner and my friend Jeff for letting me film this inaugural episode of Something about comic books. And you'll hear the audio's a bit rough in this segment. The camera shots don't match up perfectly yet, but I'm getting into it, building something new here. And if you see anything in this video that looks cool, which everything in this video pretty much looks cool, make sure to call Phantom of the Attic Comics. The first thing I'll be taking a look at on this brand new show is a super cool book that I picked up right here called Spawn, the Origins Collection, Deluxe Edition #1. It's enormous. It comes in its own protective case, hardcover. The thing feels like it's filled with lead. It's very heavy, and this is like my 10th take, so I'm getting a workout. Let's open this up and check it out. And many of you might be familiar with my other show called Classic Game Room, so for those of you who remember, Spawn! Spawn! First thing we need to do here is weigh this thing. It's a lot heavier than it looks. You ready? Clocking in at about 8.1, 8.2 pounds. That's a big book. Comes in this protective sleeve. Pull that out. Still heavy. And open it up. You know, I'm not sure what I'm going to call this segment yet. I was leaning towards Omega Ronin X 80s comics. They're both really good. Omega Ronin's providing the music. 80s comics is basically providing the comic book reviews, but this is 90s. Doesn't really matter. Maybe I'll just make up something else. But right now what's important is that we're taking a look here at this amazing book. Huge collection, 25 issues. The Origins Collection. Hopefully you can tell the paper quality is really nice. And I still have my first issue of Spawn in my collection over there, next to my 5,000 G.I. Joe comics. From 1992, I was in high school. I was a big fan of McFarlane's work on Spider-Man. And though he'd been in the industry for a while, that's I think what really broke him to me, at least. That's what caught my attention. He was doing Amazing Spider-Man, I think, and then he got his own Spider-Man series. And his Spider-Man designs actually look a lot like Spawn, the way he draws Spawn. I love the Spawn design. I think everybody likes the badass Spawn design. And in retrospect, revisiting these issues, 30-some years later, I can't say I'm a huge fan of the 90s layouts and the style, but I am an enormous fan of Todd McFarlane's work. I just think he's insanely talented. I really like his unique pencil style, and at the time everybody was copying it. He was so popular. I think there was a story where he did an issue of G.I. Joe and Larry Hama didn't like it, so he did a cover, I think, for a G.I. Joe. Nice spread there, like a centerfold of Spawn. The pages are oversized, so you can admire the artwork, and the color looks really nice. This is just a gorgeous collection, and it costs a lot, so I'd say you get what you pay for with this one. Like those giant Conan collections. I mean, they're just really nice to get all of these issues in here and just be able to sit down and soak in the detail and the colors. Glossy paper. I'll go grab one of the old school issues so you can see the difference in the size between the old floppies and this monster collection. I like that shot right there. Still breaking in all the gear here. Working with a new mic and the CGR camera and stuff. So hopefully it looks good for you. Here we go. Dug out my copy of Spawn issue number 1, so you can see a comparison here. We'll open this up. You see the hardcover collection is a good bit larger. Also, the paper quality is nicer, and the colors look better. It's newer, so this has been sealed for, about 30 years, but check out the difference. The collection does not have advertisements, which in this case is a good thing. The 90s ads kind of sucked. I liked 70s and 80s ads in particular, but the 90s comics ads weren't that good. So I can't say I missed the ads. There's the size difference. It's a lot bigger. Spawn! Here I dug out one of the McFarlane Spider-Mans. If for some reason you're not familiar with these. He got his own series of Spider-Man for a while. Which kind of looks a lot like Spawn. Except Spider-Man's a lot nicer than Spawn. I think that was the point. Spawn's kind of badass. What with the chains and, him being a Hellspawn and all. You have 25 issues, so it's good to start from the beginning if you're just getting into Spawn or just getting into comics and you're like, man, I want to read some Spawn. This is an expensive way to do it, but one that is worth it if you appreciate the larger paper quality and improved colors. That's nice. Sticking fingers to a whatever. There you go. That's good. Good page. McFarlane's got a thing for 80s mall hair, I guess. The Cerebros issue. I like this one. I have this issue. This one's really cool. Now, Todd McFarlane did not draw every issue in the Origins collection here. See all the hands reaching through there? Some of them might look familiar. It's working here. We got stories in here from Todd McFarlane, Alan Moore, Neil Gaiman, Dave Sim, Frank Miller, some of these people you've probably heard of. Mark Silvestri did artwork on issue number 25. Here's the inks. There's just so much great stuff in here. It's a huge book filled with amazing art and some really cool stories. It's great if you're trying to revisit Spawn from the beginning and you don't feel like going through the hassle of collecting all the old floppies. And the quality itself is remarkable. Good job, Image. Remember when Image was new? Ran out and bought like the first couple issues of Wildcats and Spawn and all that stuff. Was a big Jim Lee fan from the X-Men days. Still am. And I should also mention there's an art gallery here. Take a look at it. So if you like Spawn, or if you think you might like Spawn, check this out. There are some other Spawn collections out there, but go big or go home. The Spawn Origins collection commands respect. Look at this thing. When you whip this out at the bar, nobody is going to mess with you because everyone respects Spawn and admires the oversized pages filled with detail. Look at that. It's a great book. Collects issues 1 through 25, and it has an art gallery. So after you read all the Spawn comics, you can go and check out some additional Spawn drawings.